everyone, my name is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and I wanted to talk to you guys about maybe a summer slowdown. I am a 14-year online reseller. I have sold on a million different platforms over the years. I've had my own website. I've sold on Amazon. I've sold eBay, Poshmark, Depop, Etsy, Mercari. I'm sure something else, Facebook Marketplace. I have done a lot of things in my day. I like to keep it fun and interesting. And, sometimes you just have to adjust your business model. But what I will say is that it is June, and I was just looking at my numbers, and I was not completely surprised, but I thought it would be something that I could talk to you guys about. And that is, I can't even believe it. It's not a good thing. Wah, wah, that not only did I have one day with 0 sales on eBay, I had 2 days in a row with 0 sales. This is like unheard of for me. Unheard of. That, like, every once in a while I'll get a goose egg. You roll with the punches. Hopefully another platform has sold something so I don't like completely zero out. But 2 days of no sales is kind of alarming to me. Now, here's the deal. If you guys watch my What Sold videos, you know that I'm always talking about the roller coaster of reselling. It happens. A couple weeks ago, I have some of my numbers sitting right here. I told you guys that my sales were down, and they were. I give you all the details. I tell you exactly what I'm selling, what it's selling for, and then like 2 weeks later, I had one of my best sales week ever. So collectively, I'm still up compared to last year. So I'm still on a good route there. However, it is strange and unheard of for me to have 2 goose egg days. Now, I didn't check my Poshmark or Depop. I probably should to see if it was a goose egg all around or it was an anomaly with my eBay sales. I look at this graph and it's literally like this. My best day in the last 30 days was like $210 in one day on eBay. And that's not terrible. That's decent. And that was my best one day. My worst one day, obviously, is 0 sales. So I wanted to come on, kind of just talk about that. You guys let me know what's going on in your reseller world. Like I said, I'm still up overall for the year. I still have very high goals, higher goals than last year. Like I just said, a couple weeks ago, I did like almost $2,000 in 1 week in sales collectively throughout my platforms. And then, that's just part of the roller coaster. But here's the thing. One, I have to kind of yell at myself a little bit. And that is May, June, July. It gets really busy, right? I mean, kids are getting out of school, or you're planning for graduation, or you're planning for vacations, or whatever it happens to be. People are doing more barbecues and stuff. And I will say my listing has been a little more inconsistent. So my first advice to everyone is try to continue to stay as consistent as possible. Ironically enough, one of these days where I had a goose egg was a day that I worked my other side hustle, and my son graduated. So I didn't list anything on that day, and I didn't get any sales. Do what you want with that information, but I do really feel like consistently listing as many days per week as possible does affect my sales somehow. And it was the next day after that I also got 0 sales. So it was like eBay was slapping me on the hand and saying, hey, if you don't list, I'm not going to give you any sales and you ain't going to make no money, honey. That's what it feels like, because it was that day where I didn't. And then the next day, both goose eggs. So you guys let me know, do you see any patterns, or do you feel like when you're consistently listing all the time that your sales kind of stick with that? They're either consistent or at least you're getting something, a bone thrown to you. Because I do, and I guess this is, an instance where I do feel like that is the case. And with it being so busy in this time period, I haven't been hitting my 10 goals all the time. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I only get 5 done. And to be completely honest, you guys, my attention span is so bad. I need like a supplement or something. You guys, if you guys take anything for brain power, mom brain power, please let me know. Because even lately the 5 is the absolute minimum. I have to get 5 per day listed new items. But I just can't stay focused. I'm like, oh, I gotta go change the laundry. Oh, one of the kids is fighting. I better run up there and see what's happening. You know, I'm just like all over the place. I can't stay consistent. So like I said, my advice there would be try, even if it's just, if you're really part-time and you only want to do 2 or 3, just set that goal and really try to dedicate a time to get those listings done and hopefully stay as consistent as possible. I'm really, really trying. Sometimes I do it early in the morning. Sometimes I'm here at 10 o'clock at night because I really genuinely feel like that plays a role in my sales. Now, again, you guys know I'm from Wisconsin. So as far as the busyness goes, not only with my kids and school and all the things, I'm a gardener. So I have been spending a lot of time outside, which is good for me. You guys, we can't just pay bills and die, okay? I really am getting to that YOLO stage of my life where, I mean, of course I want to make a ton of money, which I'm just an average person, but, you know, 10 years from now, am I going to be able to get my big butt into the garden? And it's really therapeutic for me. I know some people don't enjoy it and I get it, but it is therapeutic for me to plant the seeds and to, you know, plant my plants and plant some flowers. It's therapeutic for me. So, you know, I am getting to that stage where sometimes I'm like, you know what, 5 listings is gonna have to be enough because I want to go watch my birds. Any old people, bird watchers out there? I saw a meme on Facebook today. It's like, life happens so quick. Like 1 minute you're really cool in the club with your short dress on, and the next minute you're looking for vacuums and you're watching your birds. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So the second part of it then, and I've done a video like this before, but don't be too hard on yourself. We have to live, okay? Life is short, you guys. And I am an emotional mess most of the time. But just in a sense that, like, I can't just always be working. I want to enjoy my kids. I want to enjoy my life. There has to be a happiness component. So it's always a struggle for me. I just even discussed this with my husband, that it's a struggle for me to juggle all the things that I want to juggle, but also I want to live life. I don't want to get to 70, and I'm probably always going to be relatively, you know, I'm just a normal average American doing average things. I'm probably always going to be that. Like, there's no Mercedes-Benz in my future, most likely. And that's okay. I am totally okay with that. But if that's going to be the case, then I want to live. I want to do something that makes me happy. I want to go to every single game, school event, friends' barbecues, birthdays, every single one. So that's the second component of this. I don't know what's happening with my sales, kind of, is make sure you make time for yourself or for whatever makes you happy. And also try to balance the workload and enjoying life. And again, with it being Wisconsin for me, is in 3 months we could be back down to 40 degrees. We only get a very short time period of decent weather where I can actually sit outside and not have a giant winter coat on. And honestly, like at least 3-4 months out of the year, nobody goes outside because no one wants to sit outside in 20-degree weather. So try to balance that. Hopefully a friendly reminder that it's okay. Do what you can. I also need to remind myself that do what you can. It is what it is. And try to make sure you're enjoying life, especially in this time period, if you have events going on, or if you live in a place like me where it's, we get May, June, July, August usually does get hot, and then September we start crashing again. So try to enjoy it. But the third part I also wanted to mention, and I have before, is that historically for me in the data almost always is that the J months are lower sales months for me. So it, 2 goose eggs is completely abnormal. However, June or July being a little bit slower, the summer months when people are busier doing things outside, traveling, vacation, it might just be normal. So I'm also going to try to add that component into my assessment and into my own, thought process, because it could really just be that people are out doing things and they're not buying stuff right now. And maybe August, September, when things start slowing down or kids go back to school or whatever it is, then they'll get back to selling or get back to buying things. So that's okay too. So that's the what's happening in my sales. Yeah, my last 7 days is not great. And it includes a couple of those goose eggs. So that's obviously just for eBay. Usually eBay is like 70% to 30%. Like 70% is eBay and then 30% is Poshmark, Depop occasionally. Even Depop kind of died on me a little bit. Roller coaster. So keep all of those things in mind. Try not to be too hard on yourself. But as my biggest advice, if you are a reseller and you're looking, you have to list items. And I know that's hard because the fun part is going to the garage sales and finding cool stuff. That's my favorite part. I could garage sale all day. But that's not going to make me any money if I don't get it listed somewhere for sale, because no one can buy it if it's just sitting in a bag in the back of my car. So try to be consistent. Even if it's a low amount, be realistic. It's okay. If you only can get 2 or 3, just do that. 5 is my bottom. And I tried the last couple days now, I've gotten to my 10 or 12. Ideally, 12 would be great. Ginger Marvin does 20. Oh, I'm like, my attention span is just not good enough to get to 20. I don't know what it is. I need some ginseng. You guys help me out. Cause supplements y'all taking for the brain. Cause I need something. It's just been taking me too long to get my things listed. So I need to work on that and try to be more, focused and make sure I get it. Currently I have like 1,550 listings on eBay. I really want to get to 2,000, but I'm like, I'm just plateauing here. I think Ginger Marvin said she had 2,500 listings. So she's like got a whole another 1,000 on top of mine. So also I do have that other, part-time side hustle that I do that takes up at least a couple days of my week. So, trying to balance all the things, but check in. You guys let me know how you're doing. How are your sales? Are you feeling any of this? Like as far as like a summer slowdown? And are your sales reflecting that? Like I said, it's really unusual for me to get 2 goose eggs in a row. Usually I get like 1 a month. And I don't know why. I have 1,550 items. Like that's a pretty solid amount. I don't think that's a ton. Like a lot of the resellers that I follow that are like big time are in the many thousands. What's that one guy's name? He does a lot of media, like all kinds of CDs and tapes. He's got like 20,000 listings. With the dogs. You guys, I can't remember anything. He's got long hair, really cool. He's been doing it forever. I watch all kinds of different resellers, but he's got like 20,000. No, he's got more than 20,000 listings. 40,000 listings? I'm not even joking. Hopefully I'll remember, or someone will comment in the comments here. Readoption agency. Yeah, Readoption. I think his name is James Hefferty. James Hefferty. Readoption agency. 24-year reseller or something. He's been doing it a long time, but he has literally tens of thousands of listings. I think media is a lot easier to list than clothes are. Clothes takes forever. Media, a lot of times with like CDs, DVDs, you can actually they have a barcode scanner and you just scan it, boop, and you put, oh, it's in fair condition, done. Boop, done. You can't do that with clothes. Books, that's another one. Books, you can do like 20 in an hour. Boop, you scan the little ISBN in the back. Boop, boop, but you really can't do that, especially with used clothes. That's even harder because every item is unique, the sizing, all the things. So anyways, what is happening? That's what's happening. And that's okay. I got my 12 done for today. And my son has a baseball game, and I'm gonna go watch my birds because I'm cool like that. Guys, let me know how you're doing. Thanks for watching. You know I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one.